This video is an introduction to elements and their atoms. Every day, we encounter many elements whether we realize it or not. We wear silver jewelry or eat from silverware. We use coins made out of copper. We swim in pools treated with chlorine gas. Nitrogen makes up most of the air we breathe and is also used to make things very, very cold, whether used in cooking or to treat warts on the skin. In this video, we will go through some of the names, symbols, atomic numbers, groups, and periods of some common elements that we see in everyday life. Helium is the element that we use to make balloons rise. The symbol for helium is He, taken from the first two letters of the name. Every element always has one capital letter. If there is a second letter, it is always lowercase. Besides the symbol and name, it's also very important to realize that the elements have atomic numbers. For helium, the number is 2, and this is how many protons each atom of helium has in its nucleus. In a neutral atom, the number of protons and electrons are the same. A neutral atom does not have a charge. The positive charge of the protons and the negative charge of the electrons balance out. Every element also has a mass. On the periodic table, the average atomic masses are given. Individual atoms have masses that are whole numbers. Helium could be helium with a mass of 4 or helium with a mass of 5. Since the average is 4.0026, that means most helium atoms are helium-4s. 4 is the mass number, and the mass number is always the number of protons plus the number of neutrons. Since the mass number is 4, and there are 2 protons, how many neutrons are there? We can figure out there must be 2 neutrons because 2 plus 2 equals 4. Here's a model we can draw of a helium atom, with the green pluses representing protons in the nucleus, the yellows representing neutrons also in the nucleus, and the electrons in red outside of the nucleus. Helium is in the upper right-hand corner of the periodic table. It's in group 18 in period 1. The group is the column, and the period is the row. Next, we'll look at gold, which is element number 79, and it's in the middle of the periodic table. Gold is used in jewelry, it's used for currency, and it's one of the most valuable elements on Earth. The atomic number for gold is 79, which means that every atom of gold contains 79 protons in the nucleus. I'll abbreviate protons as P+. A neutral gold atom will have 79 electrons, too. I'll abbreviate electrons as E-. The average atomic mass of gold is 196.97, and it has 3 different forms that are relatively stable. These are called isotopes. Isotopes are the same element with different masses. The gold 197 isotope is by far the most stable, which is why the average atomic mass is closest to 197. Since the mass number is the number of protons plus the number of neutrons, then we can figure out what we need to add to 79 to get 197. It's 118, meaning every atom of gold 197 has 118 neutrons. Since a gold atom has so many particles, it wouldn't be practical to draw a picture of it just like I did for helium. Aluminum is an element used in aluminum cans and aluminum foil used for cooking. Aluminum has 13 protons because that's the atomic number. 2 common isotopes of aluminum are aluminum-26 and aluminum-27, with 27 being most common. The number of protons and electrons are the same, and the number of neutrons can be found by subtracting the mass number from the atomic number. When we do 27 minus 13, we get 14 neutrons. Those 13 protons and 14 neutrons will go in the nucleus. Rather than drawing them, I'll just write how many there are. The electrons are distributed in rings around the nucleus, in what's called a Bohr model. I explained how to draw Bohr models in another video. Carbon, which is found in the tips of pencils as graphite or in jewelry as diamonds, has 6 protons per atom because its atomic number is 6. It also has 6 electrons if the atom is neutral, and 3 commonly occurring isotopes, carbon-12 being the most common. In a carbon-12 atom, there are 6 neutrons, because 12 minus 6 equals 6. 12 is the mass number, and 6 is the atomic number. Here's the Bohr model for carbon-12. Oxygen is an important 21% of the air that we breathe. Oxygen-16 has 8 protons, 8 electrons, and 8 neutrons. Here is a Bohr model of oxygen-16. Oxygen is in group 16 in period 2 of the periodic table. Carbon is in group 14 in period 2. Aluminum is in group 13 in period 3. Many of the elements we see in everyday life are in the first 3 periods of the periodic table.